So welcome to Classic Cargo. So I just wanted to show you, this is an SNG Barrett site that's do most old Jaguar stuff, and you can see here, so these are some of the parts that you can buy. So in fact, to buy this complete wing, this comes in 4 parts. So this section is cut here, this back section is one, the front section is another, the headlight pod is another section, and the side light pod is another section. So there's actually 4 sections in it. So if you want to buy one of these completed with the pods, the wings, everything welded together and lead loaded, I would imagine for you to finish, you can see here the price is £4,134. But there are different options. As I said, you can buy just this section, which is £404. But that's a lot of welding to weld this back in, and especially here there's an awful lot of lead here on the A post where the windscreen pillar is, and back around onto the A panel in front of the door. Obviously if you're going to buy panels, it's better to go to the people that make them direct. Obviously SNG Barrett don't make these, they get them from Martin, Roby, Leaping Cats, wherever. So obviously if you go directly to the source, or monocoque metals, that kind of thing in America, that's the way to go. But you can buy it one complete piece, or you can buy them as individual pieces. For instance, on my particular car, this is the original one we took off many years ago and sandblasted it and put it back on and lead loaded it, and this was brand new, and the piece underneath it we repaired. But there is different options here on the side, you can see. It's not showing many of them. But you can see, I mean, some of the parts, for instance, I mean the rear end assembly on this tub assembly here, it's you can see that for my car, it's £12,000, 11,900. So you can see why I repaired all this. There's a lot of money involved in these cars. So I just wanted to show this stuff to you and the kind of costs involved, which is pretty horrific. And I hope you enjoy the video. Pasting this one up, and he tends to use 2 of these, so he uses 2 metal ones, and then I set off a piece of cardboard. You can see how nice and flexible they are, and now they come off so nice and flat. He gets it. Something in the mixing as well. But the metal ones you like the best, don't you?
Yeah.
Compared to the plastic. It's getting to clean them off the edges and so on and so forth. So, of course, most of this will come off again, but it has to be built to a certain height to get it in the first place. So this is Amir's technique. If you, I'm sure other people do it that way as well, but some people try and use cardboard, and it gets wet and it's matty, and it's
sometimes just
metal to metal, or an old piece of scrap steel. Even use an old piece of scrap steel that you want to work with. It's much better, and it's more flexible. You can see how easy it is to clean that as well, and you can see how nice that finish is on it. So I'll bring you back when he's going to use the DA again. This is a dual action sander. We actually have a vacuum and a hose to put it, but we never seem to use it. But
because we already have a lot of dust.
Yeah. So that's Mir's technique if you want to follow it. So this is the next phase. He's got the DA on it only for about 10 minutes, so I'll leave that now to the morning, and he'll go over with the DA again, and then he'll drop it from, you know, I think what he's using there is, I don't know, what is it, 150s? The 120s. So he's using 120s, and then he'll change it to 180 and 3 and so on, 240, and go down and down and down. And you can see where the metal is coming through. This is the kind of thing you should be looking for. If you end up with just filler on there, there's something wrong. You've either put too much on, or it's not flat or whatever. You should only be hitting the low spots, and it should be a very, very fine layer of filler. The more filler you put in there, the more chance of cracking. This is really, and then once we've got this down to a certain extent, we'll probably end up with a few little pinholes and things. And then we use a very fine filler, and it's just for finishing. So, don't think you can just use this one filler. There are different ones. You can use ones for pinhole and stuff like that for very, very small holes, and it's very fine to work with. So these are these inner panels for the wings. We call them hockey sticks. I'm not sure if they are, but they're kind of hockey stick shaped. Now these holes here are massive. They're 18 mil, and it's only a 1/4 inch width captive nut that's in these holes here. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's about 8 on each side. But I would imagine that Jaguar in 1958 did this massive hole, and they put a massive washer on the outside because maybe the alignment was so bad. I don't know, so they could juggle it. And you can see, hopefully you can see, if I can manipulate this, you can see that I can get some of the holes and then the others just don't line up. And I guess that's why they did it. They did it so that there was so much adjustment on it and the washer would go over it. So there's quite a bit of fettling to do on these. And then this rubber that I put in is not the correct rubber, but it's a piece out of a mini arch, an S-pack arch, and it was just to use it just to see how far it pulls out but you can see there how they should sit. I can't do it with holding the camera as well, but they are quite a bit out of alignment. And these are made from I think Martin Rowe would make them, or I can't remember where we got these from. They could be from Leaping Cats, but that's how they work. So there might be some fettling to do on these to get them right. So yeah, I'll show you the other one I've got. So this is the 2 hockey sticks, as I said we call them. And basically what they've got on them, because there was a bad fit between the wing and this inner plate, what they've done is they put this double edge on it, and then obviously a seal goes. This is not the right seal, as I said, but it'll do just now until I get the proper seal. I think it was possibly originally it would have been kind of felt, which when it got wet probably wouldn't have been very effective, but as much use as a one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest. But anyway, and you can see they've done it on the edge there as well. So that's how they've made a seal. We can remake that seal, it's not a problem. But that's how they fit on the car. The reason this hole is here is there's some stuff comes through here. I can't remember exactly what it is now. It could be the brake servo, I'm not sure. I've got to put it all back together, and seeing the car's upside down, it always makes it disorientated a little bit. But as you can see, this is an original Whitworth bolt. Now you probably won't pick up the WT on it. Maybe it will, I don't know. If I stop moving around it might. But that's Whitworth. And obviously because they're captive nuts, they're the original ones in the chassis legs. So we've got to get them. But fortunately, I have good friends in the UK that can pick this stuff up for me and get it out to me. So Alex Hart from Alex DJSE is going to see if he can try and find some Whitworth for us. Now the other problem is because they made these holes so massive, for to be able to adjust it around, you need obviously massive washers to go with them too. But as I'm sure you're all aware, especially with DIY stores, if you get the larger the diameter of the washer, the thickness is massive too. And I obviously don't want anything 2 or 3 mil thick. It's going to be ridiculous. So he's going to try and get some of those for us as well. If not, we'll have to make some blanks. But I've tried this to check what the thread is, and as I said, it's 1/4 Whitworth, or according to this, it's 1/4 SAE, I suppose UNF. Fine thread is probably about the same. So we have to use the original nuts and bolts in this particular scenario. Some of the other areas I've done it with metric because I've changed the head and the nut, the bolt and the nut. But in this case we're going to have to go with the original because to rip them all out would be an absolute nightmare, and they all work. But I just don't have enough of these quarters, and getting stuff from the UK at the moment is a real pain. Anyway, so that's what we're up to. We have to put these in to stop the outer wing from flexing because it's such a big piece of sheet steel. I think this is probably one of the reasons they put them in. They put them in as a guard, as a mud guard or a mud shield, but I think they also used them to stop the wing flexing as well. I think it was a kind of boots and braces thing, typical of Jaguar, where they use something to do multiple jobs.